my deputy head of the pillar, what was recent, I think he's probably engaged in other activities, so he's not been able to focus on our campaign at all. And as a result, he's basically inactive now. And the other pillar member that I have, who was really helpful, has done a tremendous amount of work, was Mr. Ablai Boya. But for the past month also, he has traveled. I think he's East Africa or something. Yeah, because the last time I used to communicate with him, he already have other engagements, that he is carrying out. But this is not to say that this is a lost, cause. It is not at all. I'm particularly impressed with, particularly the turnout today, and I'm really hopeful that that this organization is going to grow in strength as the individual. So, and I believe that we will be able to get some other committed people who can provide support to the pillar base. And my pillar in particular is really in need of somebody who will be able to give us a hand. And probably this meeting is a good place actually to try to identify certain people. And we have also prepared a draft project proposal which we think would help to identify some of our funding constraints. We have requested for funding from the project. The proposal is to request for funding from the National Endowment Fund, which we think can help us to carry out some of the activities, both not only in the partnership pillar, but also in that we can carry out activities we can carry out with other pillars. So with that in mind, with basically the constraints that I've mentioned, and also the opportunities that we have to take our movement forward, and I wish to thank everybody, the chairman in particular, and the committee members, and the people who have taken time off to come and attend the meeting here. And just finally, I would just only try to reiterate the main issue of that I think is very crucial for us, and which is the need to unite, with a common purpose to try to end this very serious problem that our country is faced with. I thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Jaume. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that give you some sense, some insight into the work of the partnership pillar, and also some problems and challenges that might have been encountered. Just as in the case of the report submitted by James in relation to communication, you will have time when we get to item number 6 to react. I hope questions and suggestions that you may have. And with that, we'll now move on to the third report, positive action. Mr. Carr, please, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Give an idea of who are your team.
Thank you very much, Uncle Mr. Chairman. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Positive Action Group. Members comprises of my own humble self, with Malika as our chairman, Siaka Jata, and Bakari Singati. Unfortunately, in that Positive Action Group, today we have only 2 members. That's the chairman, the pillar head, brother, and my own self. Mr. Chairman, I must first of all apologize for coming late today, as the meeting is actually held close to my door. But due to unforeseeable circumstances, I tender my apologies to the chair, honorable, and members on the high table. Well, of course, we all know what Positive Action Group means. We have one of the most crucial roles to try and see all the other organs functioning. We are able to, at least this year, manage to organize 3 demonstrations in London, September 2013, November 2013, and April of this year. And for the first time, we are able to bring the meetings out of London, at least closer to the people. Because a lot of people, due to the nature of their jobs, might not be able to make it to London to attend all meetings and demonstrations. And this we intend to be a continuous process, going from city to city, town to town, get people engaged and try to show them the seriousness of what lies ahead, what's at stake. But I must of course emphasize that our elders have done their part. The youths are almost failing the Gambian people. And unless the youths are actively engaged in positive action to see to it that we bring an end to this madness, our children would never forgive us. But our organization would always do our utmost best in trying to get the message across. We intend to try, as well as in collaboration with other partners, to have an yearly review of events and finding ways to have them strengthened and observed by members. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a very crucial stage. And unless we know where we are, definitely it will be very difficult for us to move any further. There are so many talents around, so many educated Gambians who cannot go home for one reason or the other. We have very proactive oriented young Gambians who are presently willing, not aiming to work for any future government, but probably taking something back home and providing employment for the needy Gambians at home, which we all know is practically impossible under the present administration. Gambians, fellow citizens, our Positive Action Group, despite our size of only 2 members, would never relent. Communication is always a very, very big stumbling block, we know. And due to the nature of my business as both a journalist, which I have no clue, I am assuring you, Mr. Chair, that we will do everything within our strength to try to engage more Gambians into the Positive Action Group so as to move forward and get ourselves fully engaged. It has always been a problem with Gambians taking responsibilities and finding it very difficult to say, I'm sorry. I'm too busy, I can't do this. When people have their hopes and aspirations on you, it is a moral duty. This is what I believe. And this is what I am brought up to do. Gambia I see as a moral duty. And I believe for all of you that have left your daily chores that are so important to you to come down here today, we are all in agreement that this is no child play. We have been having meetings, we have been having symposiums, we've been having demonstrations, we've been having everything. Yet, many people believe that we are not getting any headway. But I disagree. I disagree. And I have my reasons. And that's why I am urging all of you that are not presently engaged to come and join the Positive Action Group, so as to get this organization moving. This organization can get the Gambia out. I have no doubt about that. My reasons are very, very clear. And I don't need to go into English jargons to explain to you why I believe that this organization, since its inception, and the success stories that we have had. I've never been a journalist before. I've never done journalism in my life. But since I went into radio programs, the people that I talk to, and the messages that I receive, the amount of damage and pain it is causing back home, that has at least motivated me to strengthen my efforts to be with this organization. If you people think that anything that happens here does not get an impact in Banjul, I'm sorry, brothers, uncles, friends, you are very wrong. Today, as we speak, the government of the Gambia knows that we are having a meeting in Birmingham. They follow our tails day and night. No rest. We have a common saying in Mandinka. Nindingo ka bata sinola. Oto dindingo farante sinola. Meaning, if the government of the Gambia does not want us to rest, then they are not resting either. We should not let them. They have the guns, they have the power, they have everything at their disposal. All we have is that. But I can tell you, this is mightier than anything that you can ever imagine. And I have found out the strength of the pen since I started. Mr. Chairman, I will not waste the time of this honorable gathering, but I will also, before I take my leave, would like to tell all of you that our doors are open, the Positive Action Group, to have any volunteer, any active Gambian, anybody who sees the Gambia through the eye of the needle, to come and join us, make history. I thank you very much.
Thank you. And that gentleman constitutes the activities reports given for the Positive Action Pillar. We will have time to include your comments and your questions when we get to item number 6. And I'll call now on